Florida GOP Representative Alan West made headlines after pulling a regular Joseph McCarthy when he said this.
I believe there's about 78 to 81 members of the Democrat Party that are members of the Congress Party.
But the closet communist claim wasn't all he had in mind. West went on to tell the crowd President Obama is scared of him. So who exactly is Alan West? He's a Florida congressman, a former military man, and a Tea Party darling. New York Magazine reports political figures like Herman Cain and Sarah Palin have recently advocated West as Mitt Romney's running mate. But the Washington Post's Chris Cillizza told MSNBC with comments like these, he may not stand a chance.
Very strong feelings about the President of the United States. You have said you think Barack Obama, quote, is probably the dumbest person walking around in America right now. You've also said, I can't stand the guy. I absolutely can't stand him. And this week in the New York Times, you criticized him for traveling to Afghanistan and landing the plane in the middle of the night for safety reasons. You said you thought that if soldiers are willing to put their lives on the line, that the president should put his life on the line when he goes to visit battle sites. Do you really believe that the president should literally put his life on the line, risk his life and the life of everyone else in that aircraft in order to make what point?
Well, I guess I'm coming from the fact that I was a commander on the ground, and I think one of the most important things is that leadership is by example. Now, if you disagree with the fact that I believe that leadership is about leading from the front, then you could do that. But I think that if we are asking our young men and women to put themselves in harm's way, we as elected leaders, we as the people up here in Washington, D.C., when we go over and just spend 1 week or, 2 or 3 days, we need to be willing to go out there to some of these forward operating bases, some of these remote places, and spend some time with them.
You want to retract that. I'm going to give you a chance to retract that suggestion that the President of the United States should put his life in harm's way while president when visiting war zones. You should just, this is a chance to just apologize for it and move on.
Lawrence, I'm not going to retract that statement because I will tell you this. If I was sitting at 1600 Pennsylvania Avenue, I would fly into a combat theater and I would get out there and visit those troops wherever they are. That's just the type of leader that I am, and that's what I believe in. And that's the type of leadership that was instilled in me and my father, who when I was commissioned as a second lieutenant back in 1982, they said that the #1 job for you, Lieutenant West, is to take care of your man, especially when you go into combat.
Okay, and in your lifetime, just so we get the record straight, you've never, ever seen a president do what you're suggesting a president should do. Never once.
Well, if you want to go back and forth about this, you continue with how you feel that it should be done. But I'm sticking with my guns and saying that sometimes you have to have a different style of leadership. And I think that our men and women in combat require individuals that are willing to go out there and be with them in harm's way at times. And understand this, no one is going to allow the President of the United States to be in a dangerous situation.
All right, I'll take that as your apology. I'll take that statement as your retraction. Congressman Alan West, Tea Party Republican of Florida, thank you very much for joining us tonight.
Well, you have a great consequence of failing economic policies coming from the President. So that now when people are running out of the unemployment benefits, now they're looking toward going on Social Security disability. Since June of 2009 or so, we've seen 2.4 million private sector jobs created, but we've had 3.1 million people go on Social Security disability. And as we said, just this past month, the 85,000 went on Social Security disability as opposed to 80,000 jobs created. So once again, we're creating this sense of economic dependence, which to me is a form of modern
choice. Does not want you to have the self-esteem of getting up and earning and having that title of American. He'd rather you be his slave.
I am offended by some of the things he says.
Well, he 876 pages, 392 presentations of this huge training manual. Most of it revolved around the insensitivity towards the Muslim community. Your reaction?
Well, I think we have to understand that when tolerance becomes a one-way street, it will lead to cultural suicide. And we should not allow the Muslim Brotherhood associated groups to be influencing our national security strategy.
Do you believe they are?
Oh, absolutely.